Hello and welcome back to another video on Citadelle de Morts. I think I might have a serious problem. For the first time pretty much ever, I think I've done 4 videos in a row on the same map. I genuinely didn't think that was ever going to be possible for me, but here we are. I am head over heels in love with this goddamn map. It is so good. And with that confession of my love for this map, it is probably worth noting the title of this video, which will probably be something along the lines of like, is this, you know, the best modern zombies, or something along those lines? And honestly, I think the answer to that might be yes. Now, this isn't going to be like some review style video because, quite frankly, I think it's a bit pointless reviewing a game or a game mode when we're only like 6 weeks into its lifespan. But I do think it is worth talking about the success of zombies, or at least this zombies has had so like soon into its lifespan, because quite frankly, it's been nothing short of like incredible to see so many people just head over heels loving this game as much as myself and other like huge fans of the game mode. Like, I know people have, like, in like my personal life that have hardly ever touched Call of Duty, specifically Call of Duty Zombies, that are like playing zombies just for fun by themselves. You know, like I'm pulling them into games and I'm taking them through Easter eggs, you know, because I want to hang out with my friends and play games and whatever. But then I'm seeing them like hop onto the game themselves, just like on their own volition and playing for fun. And seeing something like that just kind of makes me know that like this game is doing pretty much everything right. You know what I mean? And I do think in like a year or so's time, we're probably going to be having a conversation of like, is Black Ops 6 Zombies at least one of, if not the best zombies we've had in the franchise? Because if it keeps going on this this track, I genuinely think we could be having that conversation. I mean, for me already, it's like the best launch we've ever had from zombies by a mile. Like, there's no there's no disregarding that. I think it's been phenomenal so far. And like, for the longest time, like, my top 3 for zombies has been, you know, Cold War, Black Ops 2, and Black Ops 3, right? And like, for the longest time, Black Ops 2 was my number 1, and I never thought that was going to get displaced. You know, it was my number 1 for like the best part of 10 years almost. And then I started playing Cold War like a few years after release and realized that this game is phenomenal and I loved it, and it displaced it. And this game, 3 maps in, 6 weeks in, is already creeping up that list. And it's insane to me that it is doing everything I've ever wanted from a zombies game, and man, I'm loving every single second of it. And it's not just like they've nailed the gameplay and whatever, it's like everything that they've done with this game so far has been great. But more specifically, where's my thing? There it is. But more specifically, like, the map so far, like, genuinely incredible, right? Like, ever since Vanguard, like, ever since the high, or at least for me, the high of Cold War Zombies, right? Absolutely love that game. I had a great time with it, especially towards the end of that game's life cycle. Pre, like, Vanguard and whatever. Was loving it. Was really thinking that, like, they were heading in the right direction with the new story and stuff, new characters and whatever, and it had me really excited going into Vanguard, because I was like, they're gonna continue it, or they're gonna, like, do some, like, prequel stuff, setting up like a whole other story arc and whatever. And like, the gameplay in Vanguard's gonna be great as well, even though they're trying this new thing, but it's probably still gonna be pretty good. Like, I was excited for it. And then Vanguard came around and it was the biggest crock of shit you've ever seen in your life, and it has since given me the biggest goddamn trust issues with this game. So like, every time a new title is like on the horizon or whatever, like, yeah, I get excited, but like, I temper that excitement because, like, I know what it feels like to go into a game, like, so headstrong, so, like, this is going to be great, and then being, like, just sorely disappointed by it. This game's lived up to everything. Like, straight up, it's lived up to everything so far. The maps have been great, the gameplay is great, the new augment system, I'm loving it. I love that extra little bit of depth that it just gives zombies. It's incredible. And long may it continue. But one of the main things for me is, like, just how good the maps have been. Like, every single map so far has been unique to each other and has all served a purpose, and they've all executed it so goddamn well, right? Like, Liberty Falls the small, simple, straight to the point, straight and narrow, like not that complex kind of map. Mainly there just for like new players that want to play the game. Sure, the camo grind map, if you want to call it that. Maybe even just like the I just want to hop on and like shoot some zombies for an hour or two kind of map. It serves that purpose great. It doesn't try and be anything that it isn't, and like it's just kind of there doing its own thing, and it does it great, and I love it for that, right? It has its own uniqueness, and it's got all of its own little like Easter eggs and whatever that you can do on it, which make it stand out in its own right, which is great. And then you move forward into Terminus, right, which is like the first big like blockbuster map, classic like zombie formula take, where it's like scientists taking like people and doing experiments on them and turning them into monsters, and it all goes wrong, and like the boss we fight at the end is literally just like a failed like experiment and whatever else, and it does it all incredibly well. And then we move forward again into another map where it doesn't take the scientific route. It goes back to the more Call of Duty zombie formula of like this fantastical magical theme and whatever, and it just knocks it out of the park once more. Like it's really already got like a little bit of everything for everyone. And I don't know what more else you could ask. Like, we're 6 weeks in. We have 3 maps that are all, for me at least, like an 8 out of 10. Like, there's tons to do already. Hands down, the single best launch I think we've ever seen for Call of Duty Zombies. And I do think... Oh my god, I got stuck on a rock. Oh, I couldn't slide. As I was saying. And I do think within no time, this will probably be going down as the best modern iteration of Zombies. I mean, I think for some, it's probably already up there. I know for me, it's definitely getting close. I mean, it already beats MWZ. It absolutely beats Vanguard. Cold War does hold like a pretty special place for me and whatever, and I do love that game. But like, you know, it's already up there. It's already getting up there. I already think the maps are better on this game, which is crazy to say considering we've only had 3 of them already. Can I hit a goddamn parasite, please? Jesus Christ. There we go. Like, if you'd said to me 2 months ago, like pre-launch, that this was gonna turn out the way it was, I would have like bit your hand off. I'd have been like, absolutely, give that to me all day, every day. I would want that for every single title, right? Like, almost the perfect launch, if you will. Like, from a gameplay standpoint, there are a few things that do kind of spoil the joy for a lot of people right now. A lot of those that aren't really in like the game's hands, if you know what I mean. Like everything with Activision and their like refusal to protect actors from like AI and whatever. Seeing all of that really does suck and has been extremely disheartening to see. And I really do hope Activision, you know, pull their head out their ass and realize like, hey, these actors are like the lifeblood of this franchise. You know, without them, the characters that people have grown to love over the last, you know, 15 years literally don't exist. I think a lot of this game's like cult following does not exist without those people either. So like, I really do hope Activision actually learn from this. Oh my god. Can I get in my... Okay, great. I can just not get in my Ether Shroud. That's really cool. As I was saying though, like I really do hope this like very aggressive backlash that they've already seen from a large part of the community really does like kind of scare them. And they do actually kind of act on it and do start putting in practices that do protect their artists and their actors from AI, because it's needed, man. And it does suck to see what they've done. Now, even though I do think the launch of this game has been phenomenal, I would be lying to you if I said I wasn't like a tiny bit worried for like the potential future of the game, or the near future, I should say. Like, I think like for the rest of the year, this game is going to be in great hands, right? Like 3 maps, one of them's just come out, so there's new stuff still to like explore and like delve into and discover with this map. It's going to keep people interested for a while, which is great. We love that, right? I've still got my own personal like things that I want to do with this game, which we'll probably talk about in a little bit, which I think are going to be pretty exciting for me and for those of you that want to follow along. But the one thing that worries me is the seasonal model, right? And I know we come back to this every single time I talk about zombies and I talk about like the way I'm feeling about zombies and whatever and stuff like this. But the seasonal model sucks, alright? It is. Like, even though, yes, the content has been great this year, looking at it in terms of, like, a content release pattern, there's potential that for the next 4.5 to 5 months, from today, the day that I'm recording this, and the day that I decide to upload it or whatever, there's going to be like a period of time where we're going to be going 4 to 5 months without a new map. Because the way it's going to be working this year for zombies is content, major content like maps and whatever, is going to be releasing every season and a half, right? So launch is around, we get 2 maps on launch, great, love that. Season 1 comes out, no new major zombies content, okay. Season 1.5, the reloaded thing, we get a map, right? Which is just happened, it's just released, we've just got it, right? The next map won't be coming out until Season 3 launch, which, and Season 3 launch isn't until April, all right? That is quite a long way off, like quite a long way off. To see that and to hear that does have me a little bit worried, because what are they gonna do to fill that gap? You know what I mean? Like, even though, yeah, the launch has been phenomenal, if there's no momentum to keep that going forward, like, there could be some pretty big, you know, fall off, which obviously I don't want to see happen. And I would hope, like, nobody who is, you know, playing this game and enjoying this game wants to see that happen. But I'd be lying to you if I said I wasn't, like, a little bit worried. Like a little bit worried. You know what I mean? Just like, that's a long time. Like, I think the rest of this year, nothing to worry about, fine, everything's gonna be great. We've got the new, like, Liberty Falls rework coming out soon for the holiday season, for like Christmas and whatever, which is gonna be great, and I can't wait to play that. So, like, I do think content-wise, like, we're sorted until the end of the year at least. But after that, like I said, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't, like, a teeny bit worried, because 4 months without any major content drops is a long time, especially in, like, this day and age. Like, that's a long time. And, like, even on, like, the old models and whatever, for, like, content releases, like, paid DLCs, I still think the longest you'd go without, like, a new DLC would be, like, at max 3 months. So I really do hope they fill the gap with some, like, I mean, it's gonna have to be, like, truly great, like, seasonal event content. Otherwise, it could be looking pretty bleak. It could be looking pretty bleak. But I don't want to focus on that just yet, because right now, you know, I'm living in the moment. And I'm loving the moment. Because launch has been fantastic. Alright, this game is up there. This map is phenomenal. And I'm loving this map. More than I ever could have thought. Alright, let's actually start getting some of this Easter egg done. I've been yapping so much that I've kind of got lost. I've lost a little bit of track of where we're at with things. Round 16. Let's get some of these swords done. I gotta say as well, like, I'm not like the biggest, like, Easter egg, like, lore person in the world as well, but I do think they've done it all really well this year with this game. Like, I do. And, like, I've never shied away from, like, talking about the lore, even though, like, I'm not someone who is overly that interested in it. Like, it's not the reason why I play the game in the first place. It is super interesting to me to see the way they are taking things. Like, I love it. I've always followed the story enough to know what is going on, to follow it, and obviously I've always loved the characters. But just seeing them pull from, like, every which way at the moment with the zombies, like, story and whatever, is great to see. Like, I never thought I'd see the day where the KS story is, like, reintegrated into zombies, you know? Like, never thought I'd see the day. Like Black Ops 4 rolls around, it does what it does, and then it leaves, right? And I kind of thought, that's the end of that. That's never coming back. But here we are, you know, here we are. 6 years later, we've got the Sentinel artifact, and, like, the Chaos story is just, like, fully involved with pretty much everything we've got going on right now in, like, this modern Dark Ether story. It's just wild to see. Like, it is wild to see. And then obviously you've got the inclusion of, like, the Vanguard story with Craft, and I'm assuming the gods in that game will be around, or the demons and whatever will be around at some point, which is crazy to think of. But they're just doing so much cool stuff right now with, like, pretty much everything involved in the story that you can't help but, like, watch it all and go, yeah, this is pretty sick. And I just launched that Molotov way too high. Jesus Christ. All right, will I screw up this through? Probably not, because I am incredible. If one of these zombies could drop me my goddamn lightning rod that I need, I would be very grateful. Even though I know I can go down to the quick revive room and kill zombies down there, I don't want to, because I will die. Alright, final incantation goes down, which is now done and perfect. Oh, finally, my rod. I can get the lightning sword. I'm not gonna lie, out of all the upgrades for the swords, like, the actual process of doing the upgrade, I think this is my least favorite. Not because, like, it's difficult or anything, it's just boring. you know? Like, it's literally just run around in a circle and just wait for your sword for that to happen, basically, and do it 3 times. It's like the only bad thing I have about this Easter egg, and I know like a lot of people are like doing the round table thing of like, oh, this Easter egg's not actually as good as a lot of people make it out to be. And it's like, whilst I understand it may not be like the most in-depth like extravaganza, I do definitely think this is a good Easter egg, and that's coming from someone who typically does not enjoy the go build 4 wonder weapon like formula for Easter eggs. Like, I really don't like Easter eggs where you have to build every single goddamn wonder weapon, because they usually take too much goddamn time. But this one does it right in a way. I feel like it's not too difficult, but it's not too easy. Like, it still does take like a little bit of time to get it all done, but it does it in a way where it's enjoyable as well. You know what I mean? Like, none of the upgrades feel like a chore, but none of the upgrades feel like a breeze either. Like, yeah, the lightning one might be pretty boring, and it might be probably not the most incredible like upgrade either, but like actually getting it done, you know, is still a little bit like stimulating. You know what I mean? Which one have I not done? You Raven. Oh, I haven't actually put the stamp in for that one yet. Whoops. Completely forgot. Another thing as well that I haven't really mentioned, because I have actually hardly played this game with it turned on yet, is the music on this map is phenomenal. Right, like, I, for the most part, have played this game without music on, mainly for recording purposes, but I turned it on the other night when just running through the Easter egg. The music on this map is phenomenal. Right, like, it is. Like, it's playing now, and it's just great. All the callbacks as well to all the different games, mainly Black Ops 4, because a few of the old themes from Black Ops 4 are present in this map, which is incredible to see. Like, and as someone who, you know, I dabble in music myself a little bit, and I do obviously enjoy listening to the zombie music in its context of like on the map and whatever. It's just good. It's just good. You know, it does what it needs to do. It just brings so much atmosphere to these maps. Like, it's all just written so goddamn well, and I love it. I still think this is such a weird step. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I've never known for us to have to like emote in front of a goddamn statue for an Easter egg. I do find it kind of funny though. All right, so it's fire, electric, light. I also discovered the other day as well, all the incantations spawn in this room. I had no idea. It's like all the other times I've been doing this Easter egg, running all around the map like an idiot. Just trying to get all my incantations. Never had to do it. They're all just right here under our nose. Unless there's like a recent change. I hope it is. Just to make me feel like less of an idiot. You also don't have to do the full inspect either, which is really nice. I really like. We can then melee, inspect, run away. I think I'm actually going to keep the light sword just because its the special ability is pretty cool. Where's the orb spawn? Oh, the orb spawn's in here. I forgot. All right, give me this. Let's start probably the actual, and let's start like the actual hard part of the Easter egg, the elemental challenge. This is like literally the only part of this Easter egg that is difficult, in my opinion, because quite frankly, it only took me until like yesterday to figure out what I was doing for this step. I had no idea you can actually just use the incantations. Oh my god, you can literally just use the incantations to get the souls and whatever to charge the orb. I had no idea. This one is a bit weird though. Like, I don't get the whole running through orbs to charge this one and then all the others require kills. It is a bit funky, I'm not gonna lie. Again, not like the most incredible Easter egg ever made, because a lot of it is just focused around getting the swords, but this step is really good. I think as well because I've got dead wire, it'll work for this as well, which is good. Well, like, all we need to do is just get like a nice... Oh my god, that horde of zombies is huge. That is so many goddamn zombies, oh my god. I was not expecting there to be that many. We just melee, kill, souls. Give. Melee. Kill. Done. Not done. Never mind. This should get it done, though. It did get it done. See, this one, I don't know why. This one feels like it requires so many extra souls than the other ones. I do not get it. All right, I'm gonna grab this incantation. So I was mentioning before, like, plans I have for, like, content or whatever on this game. One of those is, I think I'm gonna go for the world record for the starting room challenge. I did around 50 in there the other day, and it was brought to my attention that like the Gobblegum run at the time I had done it was like round 74 or something, and it kind of got me thinking that I could probably beat that. Like, I probably could. And then I was looking at like the no Gobblegum run, which was like, I think like 50 at the time. I don't know if that's changed. It's been a day or two since I checked. But yeah, I think that's gonna be something I try and go for. Like, I'm not a speedrunner. Never have been, never will be. But I can definitely do a couple of high round runs. And I certainly think that's something I'm gonna try and do, which should be pretty fun and interesting for me at least. Like, I definitely think I can do like a round 100 without leaving spawn. I just need to get to level 39 first and unlock that goddamn mangler mutant thing. Is this done? Oh, it is done. And then we bring this orb here, put that on there, start challenge. This one's in such an awkward area though. Like, such an awkward area. Do also have this, so have that, I guess. Oh my god, I almost died. I think I did it though. I have no idea if I did it or not. I don't have a self-res, so let's not die. Did I do it? I did it. Perfect, give me that. Easy. Was not even worried. Not even close. Definitely not. Now we place our orb in here, and we are basically good for the boss fight. So, I'm gonna get set up for that, and I'll see you when we're there. Alright, we are all set up and ready for the boss fight. Although I do have one tiny little problem. My Mustang and Sally is actually just Sally today. I completely forgot. I set my zombie build as something else so I could get a thumbnail. And yeah, I'm now just stuck with just Sally. But it should be enough. Both tier 3 upgrades, both tier 3 Pack-a-Punch. Should be enough to take down the big guy. And I am also rocking the Solace light sword because I think it's probably like one of the best swords to use. Also, its passive ability, being able to like regen armor when killing zombies, is pretty huge, not gonna lie. All right, this should be somewhat alright, I think. PHC slider is just gonna do its thing for me in here, which is gonna keep me alive and protected. I will say as well, I do think the boss fights in this game so far have been like genuinely top-notch. Probably some of the best we've ever seen in the franchise, which is wild, which is just great to see. Like, Black Ops 4 had some great boss fights, and probably had like the peak boss fights in the franchise. But this game so far, the boss fights have been so goddamn good. Like, Patient 13 was a great fight, but this fight is phenomenal. Like, I love this, man. I have done this Easter egg so many times already, just so I can do this fight, because it's genuinely that fun and that good to just do and have fun with. I do recommend bringing an actual Mustang and Sally with you, though. Not just a Sally. But even without it, like, the Krig is still the Krig. It's still a great gun, and it's just gonna do its own thing throughout this, which is great. And we have the incantations to use as well if I need them, which is also a huge bonus. But man, everything about this is just so sick. The music, the boss itself, like, I'm fighting a literal god. Like, in just like his lair of lava. I'm assuming beneath the map. Where actually are we? Oh, we're all the way, yeah, we're somewhere. But it's just so sick. It's so sick. Like, if you showed this to someone and was like, yeah, this is Call of Duty, they'd never believe you. But here we are. It's real. It exists. And then we get to do a little bit of the... I can't actually put the actual music in because Nintendo will shoot me. But you know what I mean. That's why I think this sword's pretty great. I have seen as well a lot of people saying to use the drill with like Ether Shroud and like Idle Eyes and whatever, and like tier 3 Pack-a-Punch and whatnot for this to make it apparently like super easy. I was gonna do that, but then honestly I just kind of forgot. Like, straight up. Plus I think I'd rather use the sword anyway. Like, I just think it's, you know, it's more fun to use the swords. Even though I'm not using the sword at all right now. When it does come time to use them, I'd rather just use it. Man, I love this fight. It's so good. Like, it's got that, like, just perfect level of difficulty as well, I think. Like, it's not too hard, it's not too easy. You've got to use your noggin a little bit. You've got to think. You've got to be, like, paying attention and whatnot. But it's really not, like, the hardest thing in the world, especially once you get it down and you've been playing it a little bit. Just don't stand in the fire like I just did, like a moron. And honestly, the single-wheeled Mustang and Sally doing a pretty decent job, not gonna lie. Doing a lot better than I thought it would. Alright, final phase. Oh my god. What a start for me this has been. Jesus, okay. Someone's angry. I don't think I've seen him this pissed off before in this final fight. Thanks for killing all those zombies for me though, pal. I appreciate that one. Alright, there we go. Get that chest of his exposed. Deal all the big damage. If I could just learn how to aim, this would make my life so much goddamn easier. I would be an awful hitman. Like, straight up. My marksmanship in video games is pathetic. Like, just shoot the big glowy thing. It's all I need to do, and I just keep missing it. There we go. Okay, do you know what? I sawed it. Pal, you're making this annoyingly difficult for me. Can I even hit him in the chest with it? Oh, I can. 17,000 damage. Big chunks of damage. This is way harder to use in this fight than it is in the Terminus fight. My god. It does decent work to him, though. The drill is probably still the better choice of weapon, though. If I'm being honest. Also, I love the fact that he runs over to you as you're heading out of it, so you can still deal a little extra damage to him. So considerate of him, isn't it? Alright, come on. I'm so close to getting this done. Just a little bit more. There we go. What a fight, man. It's such a fun, great fight. I absolutely love it. It's just so good. So good. Like, if they manage to keep this up all year round, then I don't just think this is going to be, like, the best launch in Zombies history. I think this might be one of the best games in Zombies history. Like, truly. So to answer the question, yeah, I do think this is probably going to go on to be the best modern Zombies in Call of Duty. I do think it's already well on its way with what we've currently got, but by the end of the year, absolutely going to be sitting in that #1 spot for the modern era of Zombies, at least. And I do think it will be creeping its way into like the overall rankings, making its way to the top very soon, because this game does a lot right and very few wrong. It's truly truly a fun time, and I always get asked if it's worth picking up. Honestly, for Zombies alone, I still wouldn't recommend you paying the full price for this game. Absolutely not. But if you do have, you know, Game Pass available to you, absolutely. I think you can go on like G2A right now and pick up like a 1-month subscription for like £3.50. Or like, I think an actual like normal subscription right now is like £10 or £11 for a month. You know, and then you get the full game for a month. You can play as much as you want, see how much you like it or dislike it, and then you never have to touch it again. Or you can play it as much as you want. Like, it really is that simple. This game does it for me, man. I love it. The maps are great. I'm really, really loving the lore and like the story, and I'm not someone who really cares that much about that kind of stuff. It's got me in a chokehold, man. It's good. And I know this video was a bit of like a yap session, whatever, not like a very like cohesive review style video. But like I said, I don't think it's worth reviewing a game when we're 6 weeks in and there's literally a full year left of content to go through. It might crash and burn over the next 8 months. It might prosper and flourish into the best game we've ever had. I don't know. Either one is possible. But with that, that is going to wrap things up. Thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed, drop a like, all the good stuff. So if you want to see more Black Ops 6 content from me, let me know down in the comments. And with that, I'll see you in the next one.